In this video, we are going to look at the cloud computing and AWS. We are going to explore what it is at the high level, and we are going to cover the 6 advantages of cloud computing, the 3 different type of cloud computing, and 3 different deployment available. So, what is cloud computing? It is the on-demand delivery of compute, database, storage, application and other IT resources through cloud service platform like Amazon, for example via the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. So, I want you to think of it simple as renting someone else's computer. So, you can rent it to do computation, or can rent it to store your files, or can rent it to send text message. So cloud is just a way of using somebody else's computing capacity, and you going to rent it by paying either by the minutes or by the hours or by the seconds. That is all that the cloud is. It's just renting someone else's computer. It's awesome, right? So next, what are the 6 advantages of cloud computing? So now let us see the 6 advantages one by one. The first advantage of cloud computing is you can trade capital expense for variable expense. So instead of having to invest heavily in data center and servers before you are even going to know how to use them with Amazon Web Service or with other cloud computing providers, you can pay only when you consume computing resources and pay only for how much you consume. So basically, you are going to pay for only what you use. You don't have to sign 3 or 5-year contract. You don't have to go out and buy physical server, network equipment. That's the great thing about the cloud computing. You can spin up a little server, can have it running for minutes, then decide you don't want to use it that way. Go ahead and terminate it, and you have only paid for that minutes worth of server time. Second advantage is that you can benefit from massive economic of scale. So you are never going to have the same purchasing power as Amazon. Amazon will literally go out and build their own physical server, their networking equipment, their own storage array. Amazon is going to do this much better than you. You are never going to compete with a company that have that level of purchasing power, and they pass this cost saving on to you. The third advantage is you stop guessing about the capacity. You are probably going to buy too much or too little. You may have 10 web server when you only need 4, or you may only have 2 when you need 6. In that scenario, if you buy too much, you have waste money. If you buy too little, you are going to have downtime. Now have scale with your business need with no longer term contract. We are going to look at auto scaling, but essentially we can set up metrics and say when my website get this busy, then add additional web server, and it will scale automatically in line with your capacity need. Fourth advantage to cloud computing is you can increase your speed and agility. So the great thing about cloud computing is you can increase your speed, agility in moving into cloud. The next one is stop spending money running and maintaining the data centers. The main thing is that we can avoid running our service on premises or data center. Focus on what you are good at, not managing infrastructure. Let someone else manage that for you. So we save a lot of money here. The next one is a go global in minutes. So easily deploy your application in multiple regions around the world with just few clicks, and this means you can provide lower latency and better experience for your customer at a minimal cost. So there are 3 different types of cloud computing. We have got infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Infrastructure as a service is basically AWS. This is where you manage the server. It can be physical or virtual as well as the operating system. Usually, the data center provider will have no access to your server. So, a good example of this would be EC2. Actually, AWS go up into all three layers, but infrastructure as a services in EC2, which we are going to cover off in next video. I will be sharing it in the upcoming video. Then have a platform as a service. I want you to think of GoDaddy as a good example for this. At GoDaddy, you can just upload bunch of website code and basically point your domain name to it, and then it will be show up. So you don't have to worry about manage the underlying hardware and operating system. You just focus on your application and somebody else worry about security patching, update and maintenance. Amazon do this as well through Elastic Beanstalk or through Amazon Lightsail. So they do not provide platform as a service as well. Then we have a software as a service. The easiest one is Gmail. The Gmail become one best example for this as a software, and infrastructure is provided by Google. All you have to do worry about the data and how you want to use it. The remaining will take care by the provider. Then we have got the three different type of cloud computing deployment. First one is public cloud. This is the big three: AWS, Azure and Google. The public cloud means the cloud service which is available in the internet, the mainly provider including AWS, Azure and Google. Then we have a private cloud or on-premises. This is where you manage its own data center. Common deployment would be OpenStack or VMware or Microsoft Hypervisor. Then we have a hybrid. This is a mixture of public and private. So you may have your own website out on the public cloud, but they might have all your confidential employee information on your own server, which is in private, that you host, and you don't really want anyone to be able to access that. So that's a mixture of public and private. I think you got an idea about the deployment now. Now we will get into the summary. We understood what is cloud computing. 6 advantages of cloud. So they are the trade capital expense for variable expense, benefit from massive economic of scale, stop guessing about the capacity, increase speed and agility, stop spending your money running and maintaining the data centers, and you can go global in minutes. Also, we know the 3 different type of cloud computing. So we looked at the infrastructure as service, platform as service, then software as service. Infrastructure as a service is just like a EC2. Platform as a service will be thing like a GoDaddy or Elastic Beanstalk, where you upload your code and they will go in and provision the underlying resources for you. And then we have a software as a service, which is just very similar to Gmail. Also, we know 3 different deployment: public, private and hybrid. So these are the basic section which give the overview of cloud computing. I hope this give you some idea about cloud computing. Don't worry if you are not familiar with the EC2, Elastic Beanstalk or other AWS service. I will cover that in next video. So please subscribe the channel and click bell icon for more video and notification. Thanks for watching. See you in next video.